My name is Paul Misko. I formerly played guitar in the band Robinson, and today I'm doing a full playthrough and breakdown of track 6 off The Great City. All right, so I just wanted to say thank you real quick to everyone for all the enthusiasm around Robinson almost 20 years later. I get probably more messages about Robinson than I do anything, the podcast or FASFA or anything right now. So it's really cool to see. And I'm sorry it's taken me so long to do another one of these. The videos aren't the problem. It's the figuring out the songs that are the pain in the ass. And when I'm working on the podcast and then regular work and everything else in life, like some days the last thing I want to do is sit down and go, let me figure out the song from 20 years ago that I can barely hear anything in and I have no idea what I played. So I finally was able to tear apart track 6 off The Great City. It's called The Great City in Peril 2. But we don't have any of the original recordings, files, stems, nothing. I tried to track down the guy who recorded us. His name's Cole Martinez. So if anyone out there knows him or knows how to find him, I'd love to talk to him because he recorded The Great City and the EP we did before that. And also from a Second Story Windows, not one word has been omitted. So I would love to have all those stems and be able to do stuff with them. But I was able to use AI for this one and it separated everything. The vocals didn't come out very well, but the guitars, which were the important thing, came out pretty damn good for this recording and with all the blasting and everything going on. So I was able to pull those apart, put them in Logic, slow things down, and based off of just knowing the chord shapes we used, which is what I've done on the other ones, piece this song together. For this one and pretty much the rest of the record, besides the long song at the end, I have zero memory of anything else. And the only thing that came out of my muscle memory in this song was the breakdown at the end, which is just one chord. And then one part that repeats a couple times in the middle, that da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na. Other than that, I had no fucking clue what chords we were playing, what anything was. So I think it's about 95% correct. There's a couple parts that are just like, I have no idea what the fuck we did, but knowing the kind of stuff, knowing the kind of chords and shit we used, I'm pretty sure it's almost dead on. So this song too is also a perfect example of how Robinson was written with drums first and how all of this came out of Jeremy's brain, like the structure and bones for things. And then Greg and I would write parts to it because like this shit is not like, you don't come to practice with this and be like, check out this riff I wrote. Like, that's just like, at weird counts. Like you don't write riffs like that. So it's just a perfect example of how we did things. And also that chord that in the other videos, if you watched, I call it the Robinson chord. It's just a bar with your middle and ring fingers just going up like that. So, and we just like 75% of this song on guitar is that chord just being strummed really fast and moved around. So, yeah, that made this doable to figure out. And then knowing, you know, some of the other shapes we use, we always use like, I call it a squeezed octave. I have no idea what the actual name is, but it's just like you do this and then you do that. So that really dissonant and cool. So there's a couple of those in there. Throwing in the pinky on the one part. I'll do a full piece by piece breakdown after the playthrough, but just wanted to kind of touch on some of those things and like, it always brings back memories of, you know, being in that room and putting the shit together. And there's like that one downbeat blast part in here that Jeremy does. Like you would never write that at home and go, I can't wait to show this to the guys. Like it was written to drums. And it's just another testament to how good Jeremy was and how like the idea for the sound of this band kind of came out of his head first, and then we kind of based it around, you know, Converge's Concubine, and just go, instead of just one song like that, that's what we're going to be. And then people called it grindcore. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Some people say we're not real grindcore. I don't care what it is. It's just heavy, fast music with some melodic depth, and that's the shit I love. That's why I love being in From a Second Story Window too. The breakdown at the end of the song, another thing about that, if you saw us live back then, you might remember we played it ridiculously slow live, and on the record is pretty fast. wish we had done it that way in the studio, but it's just one of those things that after playing it live for so long, you go, oh, and you have those aha moments. But yeah, another thing is we didn't record anything to a click. It was just as fast as Jeremy could possibly play it. And what makes some of this shit so hard to figure out and just understand and like grasp it when you're hearing it is that like if you put it to a click and forced all the beats on the click, it would make sense. It's actually fairly simple for what it is. But the way Jeremy would do things, like if you're on a click, this one part in the middle, it goes like, that's not that difficult. But the way he did it was da 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 ba ba. It was just complete feel. And when you're trying to listen to this and figure it out, you're trying to, you know, play on at least somewhat of a click in your head and make sense of it, and you can't. So it's like total free form feel from him, and that's what made it really cool. So also makes it really hard to figure out. Yeah, but like just that's just the essence of Robinson, is the dissonance, the speed as fast as you can possibly play, and total chaos. So there's just everything was like a fuck you. We don't want you to be able to bob your head and understand what the fuck we're doing, and thought everyone would hate it. Said that before, but people love it. So thank you guys for watching. And again, for all the enthusiasm and messages and comments about Robinson, I really appreciate it. And it's really cool to dig into this stuff, have all these memories come out, and just revisit it. So yeah, now onto the full playthrough. Stick around to the end if you'd like to see it broken down piece by piece and actually want to try to learn this bullshit. All right, so beginning of the song starts with chord we used in track 2, I believe. Yeah, it is. So it's a power chord. I'm going to call these strings by what they're called in this tuning. So if that confuses you, that's what it is. The tuning is A, E, A, D, G, A. I'll put it up here somewhere. But you're on the E string, doing a power chord on the 5th fret. Then you're adding in the pinky finger on the 8th fret. So making it sour. Call it a sour chord instead of a power chord. So you're going to strum that for 6 counts real fast. And then this part was the one part I was like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. And even when I split the stems, it sounded really funky and weird. But knowing us, and I did find the notes we're on at least, it's like a reverse like sweep. And you're on 10 on the G string, and then just go down 9, 8, 7, like that. And you're going to do it 3 times, and in between the first 2, you're going to do a chug. So that's it. And you're going to go back to that chord. So it's 6 count, then back to this for a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. And then the next little fill part is open on the A, and then 3 on the E string, and then do an octave, 5 on the D string, and then middle finger goes to the 4th fret on the bottom A string. You're gonna let all those ring out, and then another open, and then you're gonna do the Robinson chord, so barring. And then you're going to go on the 3rd fret, and then on the 2nd A string, you're on the 4th, on the D string, you're on the 5th. And that's just real quick. So that whole part is. Now we're going to go to Robinson chord again on the 7th fret. So Robinson chord up to a squeezed octave on 11 and 12 on the E and D strings. And you're going to throw in the pinky on the 12th on the bottom A. So here. Sorry if I'm playing sloppy. My cat's head's in the way, but he's the boss. So yeah, Robinson chord, squeeze octave, add in the pinky, and then you're going to go to this part. This repeats 2 more times in the song for different lengths. This is just open, and then Robinson chord on 3 and 2. Just goes with a stop 4 times. And then comes this fast downbeat blast beat right after that. So you're going to start on the same chord, and you're going to be palm muting, and then you're going to go 3 times, and then unpalm muted, you go right up 4, 5, 6. Just very chromatic, dissonant. And you're going to go open on, this is again like sloppy, whatever we were doing. Kind of like the bottom 4 strings, and then on the 4th fret, on the middle A, then 5 and 6, again just dissonant as fuck. So, and you're gonna go down to 3, 2, and then 1. So, and then it's gonna end. There's a snare hit. This is the way I pulled this whole part together. As there's a snare hit at the end of that little run that you want to match up with Jeremy on another Robinson chord on the 5th fret, just ends right there. So try to line up with the snare hit there. Then you're going to go back into the 0-3-2 with the Robinson chords and that stop. It goes 2.5 times. So you're going to do 2 full ones. And then on the 3rd one, you're going to start it. And then after the 3, though, you're going to slide up to the 7 and do a different chord on it, and it moves on to another part. So, right? So that chord you're sliding up to is like the Robinson chord on the 7th fret, but you're going to move these 2 fingers down 1 string each. Really cool chord. And then you're going to go up to 11, Robinson chord again, the regular one. And then back to a squeezed octave, as I call it, on the 10 and 11. So putting that together with the whole previous section, I'll do it slow. And the strumming counts on those chords, I believe, are 8 to 8. The last one could be 6, but I always just hear it by ear when hearing the song. And then coming out of that, you're onto that weird like little freeform part that he does. So starting from this chord. You're going to do open. Robinson chords through all this. 7, 5, open, 3. And then you're gonna to end it, you're gonna slide up and do 5 open. So now that seems easy, but it's really fucking fast, and it's hard to get his rhythm the way he's doing it. So coming from those chords right before it, I'll try to play it more up to speed so you can see what I mean. But it's like. Right? So it's weird. It's doable. Not that difficult. So right after that open, he does a fill, and you're going to do the Robinson slide, just starting on 1 on the E string, 2 on the A string, and then 3 on the D string. And you're just going to slide up to the 8th fret, just this chord, no bottom string. and it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the count on that. So, and then Robinson chords again, and then that's pretty easy. He does that just da da, and then you're going to do the stop part again on 3 and 2 for 4 times, and that's we're almost there. So, so again, starting from, let's go from these chords again. I'll play it slow. Not too bad, right? So then the little break part, which was my part, it's going to be a power chord on 7 and 9 on the D and G strings. But in this tuning, with that low A string or the bottom A string down here, you're going to do, you get this dissonant, adding in your middle finger on the 8th fret. So, and that's what that chord is. And you're keeping that same shape, and you're going to slide it around to play this part, which is really simple. It goes 7, 5, 3, 5. Real easy. So one more time. Just weird and dumb. And then the breakdown kicks in. Easiest part of the song. It's a Robinson chord again. Surprise, on the 2nd fret. And on the recording, I don't remember what we did live. On the recording, there's definitely a layer of an octave higher. But I don't remember if one of us played that live or not. But that is in there. It gives it that extra spice. And that's literally it till the end of the song. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful for anyone trying to actually learn this. Thank you very much for tuning in for another video. I'm probably only going to do 1 or 2 more of these because the songs we recorded to make The Great City a full length from the EP, the recording was worse, and I just have zero memory of them. They're so fucking fast. So I don't think those are going to be possible for me to figure out. But I will try to do at least 1 more for sure. I'm going to do the slow song at the end, like the 10-minute long song. That's only like 3 parts, and there's like 1 thing I'm just not sure about. So I'll do that one, and then maybe 1 more. But that will conclude the Robinson playthroughs. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. No, sir. Stuff's gonna fall down. Come up behind me. Dude, no!